I don't feel like that I have defended Charles Murray enough from our last lecture, so I'm going to do that next lecture. I want to do a little digression right now. So remember, we were looking at this. We're trying to decide why do African Americans do poorly in school and other things. And here are the three possibilities. And we were on genetics, and this is what Charles Murray was on. And I want to say, no matter what Charles Murray tells us, and no matter the truth of what Charles Murray tells us, we're still going to reject genetics. Because it is, and I'm going to use this word, I don't like this word, but I'm going to use it because I think it's a good word to use. It is politically incorrect to say that black people as a whole, population as a whole, are not as smart as white people, as a population as a whole in America. It's just not right. You shouldn't say that. I don't care about the truth of it. Now you might go, Mr. Horn, we have to always tell the truth, and the answer is no, we don't, for crying out loud. Here's another thing that we say, and I don't care about the truth of this. Ready? All men are created equal, and they're endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if you want to take out, by the way, the Creator, if you just want to say people have rights, and I say, of course they do. We're not going to discuss this. And you say, but Mr. Horn, why are people special? Why do people have some rights? Why don't that speciesism? I just finished Peter Singer's book, Animal Liberation, and he says, oh, that's speciesism, to think that somehow or another people have rights that other animals don't have also. Why do people have special rights? And the answer is because that's the way it is. That's just what we say in America. And if you don't like it, well, sorry, we don't care. That's the politically correct thing to say in America. In just the same way, it's the politically correct thing to say in America that no population group is smarter than the others, regardless of the truth of the matter. So I just wanted to make sure we got that under control. I'm going to do another lecture on well, I guess I could do my lecture right now. Okay, that's 3 minutes. Okay, so people say that Charles Murray is a racist because he brings this up. And the question is, well, why would you even bring this up, Charles Murray? I want to think about this for a second. Okay, so imagine for a moment that Charles Murray is correct, that people are intelligent or not intelligent in some part because of their genetic makeup, which they get from their parents. Now, the secret is, and let's forget the black part of this whole thing. Let's just focus on the one thing he says. Charles Murray says that bottom 25 or 30% of Americans who are not smart, it's not their fault. They're never going to get to college. And this idea that we need to get everyone graduated from high school and into college is a terrible idea, says Charles Murray. Some people simply cannot do it. They're incapable, through no fault of their own. It's as if they were born short or born tall. It's not anything to do with you, your intelligence. Now, I would argue, well, American public schools do not push people to the edge of their intelligence, I would argue. I don't think we're doing a great job of pushing people to their limits of intelligence. But I would agree with Charles Murray and say 25 or 30% of Americans simply cannot do college. And so if we say it's only respectable, you can only be a good citizen, a respectable citizen, if you go to college, it's a terrible thing to say. Because a third of us won't do that. How much better to say you're a responsible citizen if you work and take care of your family and be a good citizen, no matter whether you go to college or not. Now some of you will say, but Mr. Horn, the poor folk, the minimum wage is so low, for that to happen you would have to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, $20 an hour. And Charles Murray is not for that. He's a much more libertarian bent. So it might surprise you to know that Charles Murray says, I agree that we need to do something for that bottom 25% of people, 20% of people who simply cannot go to college and simply cannot get a job that pays well. So he says, let's give a universal basic income. Charles Murray makes that argument. He says, well, let's do that. Let's give everyone, no matter who you are, a universal basic income. And once you make above a certain amount of money, and for him, he puts it pretty high. So once you make, let's say, I'm going to just make these numbers up. Everyone's going to get $12,000. Not a lot, by the way. Not enough to live on by yourself. You're going to have a roommate or something if you want to live without working. We want to make it so it's not pleasant to just live on your universal basic income. We want you to work also. But once you get to 12,000, let's say 1,000 a month, you get 12,000 a year, and once you make altogether, let's say $35,000, then we'll slowly start to decrease your income. Not a lot, but by the time you reach, let's say, 60,000, we're not going to give you that 12,000 anymore. So by the time you reach 60,000, sorry, you don't get that 12,000. And by the way, we're not giving you money for your kids, for your children. You want children, you're going to have to get a job. I'm sorry. You don't get children without a job. Yes, we're going to give everybody birth control. Don't worry about that. But I want you to think about this. If you have children out of wedlock, what you can do is you can find the baby's DNA and find the father, and we'll have him be docked a couple of $100 a month to give to you. I think that would be good. Wouldn't that stop young men from spreading their seed indiscriminately? Put some pressure on men to worry about birth control. Again, this is all coming from Charles Murray. And in the end, I think Charles Murray would say, look, if it's true that the African American population in America is not as intelligent as the white population in America, then those very poor black schools should be given extra money, should be given a step up, because they're not playing on a level playing field. We need to help them. Again, Charles Murray says we need to help folk who don't have that natural ability. We don't praise people for being smart. That's just the way they were made. So again, I don't find Charles Murray a racist. You'll hear people saying it, but go read his works. I would. Anyway, we're going to get to culture next time.